Hello, welcome everyone. This is my little guide, or I guess a showcase of a build that I'm currently playing. It's not that different from the previous build I played. It's just that my previous build was physical damage based and hybrid based, like with life and energy shoot, and this build is fire damage based and life based, like full life. The reason to go live instead of being hybrid is to get a little bit more nodes to feel comfortable playing this build, because the mana costs or like life costs will be a lot higher because you'll be using double two-handers with the +7s on them, so your totems will be level 20 and they will have a very high mana cost. And to feel comfortable and to increase your damage a little bit, you'll be going live, and this is basically the reason to go live. Tankiness wise, there is barely any changes, but on a repeat map like this one I'm currently playing, the hybrid build will feel a bit better, I guess. This map is just like I'm like taking triple amount of damage that I usually take, so I'm gonna die or like borderline die a lot. On a map more adequate than this one, you'll feel a lot safer than that. I'm also using the Molten Blast or the Molten Balls instead of the Sunder for the clearing purposes, but you can also use Sunder, and it is probably a better idea to use Sunder right now because Sunder is kind of bugged. It can go through the walls, through the terrain, through basically everything, and as long as it's bugged, it'll be a better clearing tool than the Molten Balls. But I just like Molten Balls more, so I'm just playing them instead. They're also seemingly dealing more damage than Sunder in the clearing setup, because if you're gonna go Sunder and you go clearing setup on your Sunder, for the clearing setup on your Sunder, it'll deal a lot less damage than the single target Sunder that you'll be using for the single target. The Molten Balls can actually kill one shot actually rares, borderline one shot or one shot bosses like Delirium bosses and the Nemesis bosses, or whatever, the corrupted bosses, this thing, the four-legged thing that emerges from the ground slowly. So I'm just playing Molten Balls instead of Sunder for those reasons. Now for the pros and cons of this build. Well, it's tanky, it has good enough single target, good enough clear speed, just nothing special, it's just a totem build. And the cons of this build is just this is a totem build. So if you're going for a totem build, you should expect it to be a totem build. You should expect it to play like a totem build, to act like a totem build. You won't be having like crazy clear speed, although with the Sunder you have actually pretty decent clear speed, but it's bugged, so yeah. Totem builds are more in line with like ritual content, expeditions, Trial of Sekima, ultimatums. They're good for those things, like borderline AFK gameplay, like minions gameplay. You can do some very repeat content with the totem builds because you can stay like somewhere very far away and just let your totems do the job. But it'll be quite slow. But like if you want to play a totem build, those things they will they will come they will come in a package with the totems. There is just no other way around it. And as the totem build goes, this build is actually pretty good. a bit of a single target DPS showcase. Things could go a lot better, like you can kill him in 3 or 4 seconds, but bosses will move a lot, and unfortunately the strike range of your armor breaking totem is quite small, so the boss might just move away from the striking range, and you have a lot less single target damage, and basically you won't be able to burst down the boss in like a few seconds. But if you're gonna place your totems properly, you have no problems at all. Like, just stand where your totems are, so the boss wouldn't just go away from your totems. Now I will go over my gear. For the helmet, I'm using rare helmets. You can also use the unique helmet like this one, I guess, or just some other unique helmet of your choice. The main reason, the main affix on your helmet is actually the corrupted implicit, the life region. The more life region you get, the better. This is like the main source of life region for you, and this corrupted implicit is the most important part of your helmet. The rare helmet will be better than the unique one, but it will be rather difficult to find a good rare helmet like this one, and yeah, it has rarity, and I don't really need rarity, so it's not perfect. Amulet, nothing special, +3 amulet, life, mana. You'll need mana to like spam your totems. Mana region can be switched for like dex or resistances, I guess. For the prefixes, it's just life, mana, and I don't really know what other prefix you can use. I guess increased armor, but yeah, you don't really need energy shoot. You don't really need anything else other than life and mana. For the rings, on one of your rings, you'll need life, mana, strength. I guess a singular res, and mana region. It'll have to be a breach ring, so you could catalyst it with mana catalysts and gain a lot of mana region and mana. I have lightning damage instead of like fire damage to attacks as a prefix. The perfect ring will have like fire damage on it, but yeah, you'll need a ring like this, and the other ring will need accuracy rating on it. The fire damage is also optional, but like if you have fire damage, good for you. Also some res, strength, life, int and dex are also not completely useless, so you can use them. Also, just like strength, mainly like the dex will give you accuracy, which you'll need, and int will give you mana, but also those stats will give you a little bit of a damage increase because of this node right here. So you kinda need to balance them to be like almost equal to each other to gain the most damage. The boots, just some generic boots with life and mana, nothing special really. The belt is ingenuity. You can use a rare belt, I guess, but ingenuity is just vastly better. The Mariah, life and attributes, nothing special. You can use a 4-socket one on a budget, I guess. Rare armor, I mean, it's awful, but you can use it for a while on like a giga budget, I guess. The gloves, so for the gloves you'll need life, hybrid life, fire damage, attack speed, strength, and either int or dex, whatever you'll need at the moment. If I didn't a glove like this, will be very difficult. So yeah, good for you if you're gonna find a glove like this. Like it's not even difficult to buy, it's just difficult to find. This corruption is also pretty good. The weapon swap speed, actually pretty good, but it's not like mandatory. Flasks, just generic flasks, nothing special. Weapons, +7 strength, as much elemental damage with attacks as you can get. And of course 2 soul cores with elemental damage with attacks in them. 3 soul cores will be better, but you'll need to hit the corruption for this to happen, and hit the valor, I guess. There is also a corruption that will give you just flat elemental damage with attacks, not a soul core slot, but just a flat elemental damage with attacks. It'll be even better than this same weapon, basically nothing special, just a little bit less strength. You don't need attack speed or anything, don't worry about that. Also the charm, just use whatever charm you want. You won't really need any particular charm. The surrender, nothing special. Again, just get as much block as possible. If you can get soul core slot, good for you, but it will be very expensive. If you won't be able to get a soul core slot, fine, whatever. A stat stick, a rattling scepter will give you skeletons, which will serve as a mid shield, and you'll need a little bit spirit on it, like increased spirit to fit all of your auras. You'll also need mana, you'll need strength, you need int, and you'll need mana regen. I have a little bit of mana, but the more mana you get, the better. And for the jewels, right away, it's Against the Darkness with strength and a singular res, and it's triple grand spectrum with whatever corruptions you can get. Whatever corruptions would be the best for you at the moment. And the Megalomaniac with something that will give you more regen, and something else that will give you more regen, or like more res, more damage, more attack speed, more strength, of course. Just whatever you can get, like 1D, they're very cheap actually. And that's it for the gear, I guess. Now for the gems, triple totem setup, once again, Molten Blast, Martial Tempo, Scattered Shot, Fire Infusion, yeah, nothing special. A second totem, it'll be your single target totem, it'll be Sunder Totem, and the Armor Break Totem with some fonts in it, because you really just need like a single hit, the Armor Break, to hit, like to break the boss's armor, and some duration because of this thing with right here that will reduce the duration. Resonating Shield, it'll be in your weapon swap number 2. All of this will be weapon swap number 1, just like this aura right here, because the herbalism and precision. Everything else will be weapon swap 2. Demolisher, Rage, main ability, just like utility stuff. Solar Orb for the fire exposure. Shield Charge as a movement skill. Blasphemy, because like applying flammability the normal way is just reduce, I guess. Nothing special again. Blink with some auras in it, and ingenuity. That's it for the gems. Oh, right. Also, yeah, the skeletal warriors. Some gems. You have to put some gems into your skeletal warriors. Not for the 3. Again, do like stance specs, weapon swaps. One for the totems is the red one, and one for the shield and like through ability, it's the green one. There's really nothing special. Just get all of the life regen you can get in your like defensive setup, defensive stance with your shield, and just switch to it right away after you place your totems, and she'll regenerate a lot of life and be very tanky. You'll be like block capped or almost block capped. I have only 73%, not 75, but like this is not that big of a deal. The only questionable nodes on the tree are those nodes. I guess they're just not that great. You can just get rid of them if you're like you have a lower level than me, which you probably have a lower level. I'm level 96 currently. This node right here, I just used it for the lightning grass, nothing special, you can drop it. And that's it. Megalomaniacs, there are a lot of options for it. You can get Devoted Protector, Resident Soul, Full Recovery, that has no hash value, so you won't be able to find it on trade. Breath of Fire, Cremation, this thing right here. There are a lot of options. Just find whatever you can, whatever is usable for you and cheap. The triple mod Megalomaniac will be better, of course, but it's just very difficult to find one. It's not that they're expensive, it's just very difficult to find one with all 3 mods being like useful for your build. That's it for the tree. Now for the rotation, you'll be just for the clearing, you'll be just spamming your totems and switching to your resonating shield. By the way, you can spam resonating shield like this, and you'll have like a little bit more attack speed if you go with the rhythm, kinda. But yeah, I do not recommend doing that. It's just not worth it. And for single target, you'll be doing like this a single armor break totem, then spam your single target totem, then place a solar orb and just switch to your shield again. The reason to go with the armor break totem first is because it can summon 2 totems instead of a single totem. So you can, if you're gonna go DPS totem first, you can summon a single armor break totem and it will summon 2 totems instead, and you have like one single target totem less than you could have. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the rotation. And have fun with the build. All of your auras will be in your weapon swap, except this one will be in your totem setup. Also, it's because the Herbalaze and Precision, you'll need them in both setups, but Blasphemy and Blink, there is no reason to have them in your totem setup like at all. You won't be blinking when you'll be spamming totems, you won't be blocking anything when you're spamming totems, you won't be standing near the enemy to apply the flammability. When you're spamming totems, you'll be just staying like somewhere far away. That's pretty much it. There is nothing else to say, I guess. Subscribe and leave a like if you want.